the symbolism is massive today. There's no way around it. And, it's funny, like the Yankee fan got a little respite the last couple of days, and the Tucker stories and the other stories that have gotten Yankee fans excited, obviously signing a big-time pitcher. Now it's like, all right, here we go. It's back to being the Mets day when he holds up that jersey and when he buttons that thing up and he can put on an Astros jersey or a Seattle. He's going to look good no matter what he puts on because he's just going to look the part. That snapshot, that picture represents so much in New York City sporting lore.
Now, do you think it's going to take away? And yesterday, did you see like the video the Mets put?
I did. Dude. I did. Well done.
He's coming to the Mets meeting. I can't believe it. Where he, crosses his chest and instead of the New York on the Yankees jersey goes to Mets. Oh, my God. So do you think that some of the appeal for today, because you have split, like as much as the Met fan is going to be excited about this introduction, it hurts the Yankee fan seeing Soto put on the Met jersey. Like we all know he's going to be a Met, but when you see him put that jersey on and that hat, it's going to sting even more for the Yankees. Do you think that takes away from the big picture of New York sports as opposed to everybody just being like, wow.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We got a big star here in our city regardless of where he ends up.
Yeah, well, again, the examples I gave you, not everybody is a Ranger fan, though I would say they've got about 80% of the fan base. The Yankees, obviously, with Reggie and A-Rod are huge.
But you still know the magnitude of it. And in those huge acquisitions.
And they didn't come from the Islanders in Gretzky's case or Messier's case or the Devils or in A-Rod's case, the Mets. Yeah, I think that's a very interesting way to look at it. But now I'm not going to do this. I can't wait to watch this, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
From my perspective, obviously from my job. But I think if you're just a regular Yankee fan who's not on the air, I just think you got to check out. I don't think that you really dive in too deeply.
You wouldn't want to watch out of curiosity?
I can't wait to watch it.
Right.
Number one for the show.
But you don't think the normal Yankee fan, if I'm a Yankee fan, I'm thinking, I want answers. How could you leave us? I want to hear why. Even though you may not get the whole truth. I hope he does say, well, look, it was the best offer financially and all the other stuff that goes along with it, and maybe talk about Cohen's vision. I don't know. I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about the best offer. I want to hear more about the vision if I'm a Mets fan.
Well, I want him to.
Don't you think he's got to tickle the Met fan a little bit? Not just about the money.
100%, but I'm saying from a Yankee fan perspective, you want to find out how the hell could you leave? Actually, I was thinking about going myself, and I'd like to ask the question, have you talked with Aaron Judge since?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I'd be curious about his relationship with Judge or how he left the Yankees. When you have that type of year, and I know everybody says, oh, it was just 1 year, just 1 year. Yeah, but it wasn't just 1 year. It was a special 1 year. The way the fans embraced him, the way he embraced them, the way he looked in the pinstripes, getting to a World Series, him and Judge forming one of the great tandems ever in the sport. It wasn't just a year. So I want to hear, even me as a Met perspective, but I'm saying from a Yankee perspective, I want to hear why. How could you leave that? What, just for an extra whatever million? I want to hear from Juan Soto today for both sides.
Yeah, I do find that. That's why I can't wait to watch this. And I said to you guys yesterday, you weren't buying it. I'm like, no, I guarantee he's going to get peppered with Yankee stuff. Now, I will say, I hope that it doesn't take away from the Mets
wasn't buying
perspective.
it, for the record. I was with you.
Oh, you did? You agreed?
Yeah, Hoff was saying, oh, no. He's right, Hoff? That was you.
That was me,
yeah. No, I'm with you. I think there's going to be a lot of Yankee
You're going to get a lot of that. And listen, hopefully it comes after the fact and, let him enjoy his moment. Now, there's a lot of questions that I think the Yankee fan eventually wants an answer to here, but I think that the spotlight it's just never been this great around the Mets. Even when they got to the World Series in 2015, of course, I'm not talking about 86 when they actually won it. Yeah, Keith Hernandez made some comments, which we can get into later, about it's kind of like Gary Carter. You and I don't really see it that way because Gary was the missing piece and they needed a catcher forever. It's the magnitude of him as a transcendent generational hitter, putting on the Met pinstripes it's a picture.
Yeah, this is a big deal. I'm not going to equate it to the final piece the way that Carter was. I think it's more Piazza-like when the Mets traded for Piazza, and that's the initial thing. I know they extended him and signed him, which was a big deal, but once you make that trade and bring him in here, Lindor, a big thing. The Beltran acquisition, a huge one. That was free agency, obviously, and he said on that day in 2005, the new Mets, whatever. This is different because this guy's better. He's 26. His best years might still be to come. Now, again, we don't know how it's going to play out, and obviously the Mets have to win. Everybody's acknowledging that, but let's also just be fans for a second and enjoy what today is. If you're a Mets fan and you've dealt with this, not only your entire existence being second citizen, being less than, but think about what you dealt with from 2009 on. They didn't sign free agents, period. Bryce Harper off the board, Machado off the board. The Mets weren't even rumored in those guys. They couldn't get Mookie Betts. The Mets lost guys, whether it's Jose Reyes, whether it's Zach Wheeler. The Mets weren't in on guys. They lost guys. Today is a day where they are getting the biggest guy from the Yankees to boot, but this is a day to celebrate. Yes, we acknowledge that they have to win and have sustained success and win World Series, at least one, but really multiple. This is only the beginning, but if you're not enjoying this day, even just a press conference, then you're doing it wrong as a fan. Today is a special day, a historic day in the Mets history.
It is. Listen, I think it's the ultimate mic drop right now. Francesca said something really interesting, too. If you guys missed the interview with Mike, go check it out. It was really fun. We bounced around a lot of different topics. Obviously, spent a ton of time on this here.
Need to get him on again. There's a lot more I want to get into.
There's so much more. We'll get him back on, hopefully. I know we had a guy texting him. I know you communicated with him. He said he really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Free Odyssey app. But what Mike said, it's like, hey, for the first time ever, really, the Mets fan can win the bar fight. Bar argument, not talking about, But, like, if you think about the debates and you think about really the essence of I've always said this, the essence of sports radio really is the kind of conversation that just begins in a bar, having a couple of beers, whether it's, going from the factory back in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, talking about Willie, Mickey, and the Duke, or up until now about, hey, is Soto going to go to the Mets before he actually did? Like, that's this medium. That's all of us getting together and airing it out and getting loud. And, the difference is you can't curse on the radio. But this conversation right now, the only thing that the Yankee fan can say is, you got to win. And we all know that. But the season doesn't start today. The season doesn't start tomorrow. Right now, the Yankee fans, as I said, the next day after he signed, you just got to take it on the chin. You got to take the L. You got to hope that your GM recalibrates what he's trying to do. And you have to understand that this is the Mets' day.
Yeah, and I don't think, and I'm sure there is the tie-in with the Yankees part of it as well, as we alluded to a little bit earlier. But I think for me, I don't recall ever, and I love the acquisition of Piazza. I was a little too young to really understand Hernandez and then even Gary Carter. Mm-hmm. But I have never been this excited to hear or watch a press conference with a free agent signing. The Yankees have had some mega ones as well.
Yeah.
And some have been bad. The A-Rod stuff. I'm trying to think in the New York sports history.
Gave you Reggie, gave you A-Rod, gave you Gretzky, gave you Messier.
I don't know if I've been as excited about an unveiling of a new member of a team in this town for me than Juan Soto with the Mets now. This is...
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think that the ability now to just build out is so intriguing to me. And we know that the Mets have a lot more to do. But listen, I can't overstate this enough. The Mets took Juan Soto.
Yeah, I know.
They took Juan Soto. It's a basic statement. It is a simple. It's only a couple of words.
Right.
The Mets took Juan Soto. Period.
It started to hit me last night as I'm watching the highlight videos and like, oh my God.
That was a sick hype video. I got to give it up. Mets digital team did a great job on that.
And then even hearing or reading the Stearns and Cohen's quotes, like there is something, I do want to get more into this. You talked about Kyle Tucker yesterday. We could get more into that and how you say he's a better overall or all-around player, which I understand why you would say that, but there's something that's not on the stat sheets when it comes to Juan Soto.
Yeah.
His guts, his passion for the game, all those things. I'm not saying that other players don't have it.
I get it. Trust me, I watched him every night. I get it.
And he's ours, BT. He is a Met. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. John is in Queens. What's up, John?
Hey, BT Sal. What's going on, boys?
How are you, Johnny?
Hey, bud.
I'm great, baby. Let me tell you something. Obi-Wan Kenobi has slayed the dragon, baby. We went up to the Death Star. We took Hal Vader. We sliced them. We diced them. 88, 92, 2000. The collapse. It's over. It's dust. Let's go, boys.
John.
Let's go, Johnny. That's the energy we're looking for. Now, what I will say, BT, to your point, I mean, enjoy this one today, but I wouldn't be talking smack.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
Yeah,
if I'm a Mets fan, I am dishing it out by the bushel.
Right, but the problem is the winning is not there yet. For today, and some things are so obvious, you don't need to dunk on it. Everybody knows what happened. Like, the Mets got Juan Soto away from the Yankees. You'll know it. You don't have to throw it in their face again.
No, I still disagree.
I would just enjoy it without
if you
spiking
can,
it.
Okay, there you go. If you can find that balance of act like you've been there before, like Barry said. The problem is you haven't been here before.
Well,
that's why I'm doing the end zone celebration. I know it's petty, and I know that it's whatever, probably below board, and but whatever. Hand it to the ref. Why? I'm doing somersaults. I'm spiking. I'm doing something choreographed with my 10 other teammates. The Mets don't do this.
That's fine. Like, I'm okay with the end zone dance or the spike or whatever, but I wouldn't throw the ball in the Yankees' face. Not yet.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a huge win. They've already done that without actually doing it. And everybody knows the Met fan is up, the Yankee fan is hurt to a certain extent. I mean, I think the Yankee fan is trying to process emotion. You're like, this has never happened before. What the hell's going on here? Wait till you see Soto put on that Met uniform and hear him speak and all those things. I don't think you need to throw the ball in their face. Enjoy it, dance in the end zone. Don't spike the ball.
All right, so a little classiness. Yeah. I understand. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I think that certainly one of the things that Cohen's been great at is restoring Mets pride, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's aesthetically some of the things around the stadium, so it's not quite Brooklyn Dodgers-ish, or retiring numbers, and some of which probably should have been retired earlier.
Right.
Just kind of bringing back the Met legends. If I'm a Mets fan today, I want to see Keith out there. I don't know if I need to see Doc and Darryl, though it would be great. I want to see David Wright out there. Like, I want to see whatever living Met luminaries are still physically able and of sound mind to be out there. If I'm a Mets fan, I am going all out today. I want to see every great Met, the retired numbers. Let's go there for Soto.
Yeah, interesting. For me, as
you
a
don't
Mets
care.
fan, no, I don't know.
Why?
It's about Soto. I mean, I've seen Doc and Darryl. I love those guys a million times. I don't need to see Piazza today or Keith. We'll see them during the broadcast. It's about the next one, the new one in Juan Soto. Rob is in Arizona. What's up, Robbie?
Robbie.
What's up, guys? How you doing today?
Hey, Rob.
Rob,
What's
how are
happening,
you?
bud?
Nothing much, man. Out here in Phoenix, I'm just listening to all the Juan Soto talk, and it's amazing stuff. But, I can't get too ahead of myself, man, because, the Mets, even though they haven't splashed like this, like ever in my lifetime at least, I just know somehow the Mets are going to Met this, and
Wow.
I don't know if I'm just being a Debbie Downer,
Whoa. Now, Rob, you're out west. Rob, you're out west. Are you from here? You got to be from back east. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Patchogue.
You can't have that negativity, in your blood if you're not from here. I got to tell you, Rob, get Rob a prize. I thought all the Met fans had plowed past this negativity, at least for now. Come on, Rob.
It's a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm very happy, but it's a lot of money. And I just read today that they front loaded his contract,
yes,
which is awesome. Cohen. You can't be mad. You're happy as a fan. It's just like. I've been hurt way too many times in my life to see this all go down.
No, you gotta love again. And thank you for the call. This is not the day for that. You want to call me in June if the Mets are struggling? That's a different story. You can't call us today and have the negative attitude with the Mets. That's been here way too long. Today is not the day for that at all.
He just said the Mets are still going to find a way to Mets.
No.
Even I don't want to hear that. Come on, man. That's not fair.
It's different.
I mean, it might eventually be accurate, but it's not fair today.
Come on, what is this, the Jets? This is the Mets we're talking about. They just got Juan Soto.
Free agency like it ought to be. Put that on the new stadium, the neon lights, right?
I like that. That's a good song. That's a good line, BT. One thing I did see that kind of plays into that.
Yeah.
I forget who wrote it, but it was yesterday in the Post, and I took a screenshot of it. A quote from an MLB executive: "The Mets better win, or Soto's going to be the Aaron Rodgers of Queens."
I saw that.
That is the dumbest quote. Whatever idiot MLB executive said that, if I found out that was a guy in my organization, I'd fire him immediately. No, you knucklehead. What's the big difference? One came here 41 years of age or whatever it was after having his great years, winning multiple MVPs and a Super Bowl with the Packers. The other is in the prime of his career. He's 26. Will Soto be criticized if the Mets don't win at all eventually? Yes. But will he be the next Aaron Rodgers? No freaking way. This isn't Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and I also don't think the baseball criticism is as applicable. Now, listen, like say Aaron Judge, or any great baseball player not doing it in October, that's different. That's a point of isolation. You can really hone in on the at-bats, what went wrong, what went right. But even if the Mets, let's just say, I don't know, the Mets win 88 games this year. They're good, but not great.
Yeah.
Maybe they sneak into the wild card, maybe they don't. But let's say they get in, they get bounced fairly early. Juan Soto has a terrific season, but the Mets as a team don't do what Met fans hope that they do. It's not his fault.
Right, exactly.
Whereas with Aaron Rodgers, 0 for 6 with a chance to punch the ball in the end zone in the last possession and win a game. He's 0 for 6.
Right, but I don't blame Rodgers the way that many others do. Don't you think that there will be some fans who will blame Soto regardless? Like, I won't.
Okay, I think that will be the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that will be lazy. I think it will be unfair. Now, if this was a different set of circumstances, like if the Wilpons still owned the Mets here, and they went out and they just said, we're going to do this once, and we're going to get him, and then because of their limitations post-Madoff, they couldn't do anything else. I think that, and they didn't do anything else, and the team didn't do well. I think you might hear some stories or read some stories or could certainly get calls. Well, because Soto's here, we can't do anything else, and he's prevented us from doing that. Because there's seemingly an unlimited amount of resources for the Mets right now with Cohen, you're not going to hear about the finances, his big contract preventing them from doing the other things required to be good, and Juan Soto's going to rake. So, no, he's basically bulletproof for a couple years.
We've only just begun. But what I would say is enjoy this day.
Yep.
There's going to be plenty of days to yell and complain and call up and scream, even with Juan Soto and the other stuff that will follow. Speaking of which, let's get to that next. Garrett Crochet now off the board. Both the Yankees and Mets have plenty of moves to make here this offseason. We'll discuss some of them next, as well as get back to your calls. 888-808-1019. BT and Sal on the Fan.